welcome to New York City Visions. I'm your host, Herb Malzman. We're not actually in New York City. It's a little windy right now. I'm going to kind of try to walk where there's a little less wind. We're on the boardwalk in Coney Island, Brooklyn, so we're not really in New York City. Well, we're in New York City, but legend has it that at one time Brooklyn was its own city. It was separated from New York, and Brooklyn was the first suburb. Manhattan was crowding up, so they built the Brooklyn Bridge and then other ways to get out of the city, and they wind up in Brooklyn. So Brooklyn was like the first suburb in the country. Again, legend has it. Many years ago, they decided they were going to incorporate Brooklyn into New York City and make it a borough. And so there was a vote. I hope you're hearing all this. There was a vote taken, and Brooklyn became the fifth, one of the boroughs of New York City by about 200 votes. So there was an awful lot of contention on this vote. But as it turns out, Brooklyn became a borough of New York. So that's a legend has it, probably in the 1800s, so something like that. And David A. Booty was the last mayor, I believe, of Brooklyn. David A. Booty. They named the junior high school after him in Brooklyn. So that's what's going on now. We are here on Coney Island, on the boardwalk in Coney Island. We're going to be getting an inside look at a film shoot today, Shoe Shine Chicken, and the gentleman that got me into this, Al Burgo. Al, I met at DMV at 11 Greenwich Street. I'm just going to call this Daymare on Greenwich Street. I happened to meet Al at DMV. I was having it out with him about 4:30 in the afternoon, and Al happened to be standing by, and I impressed him by the fact that after all the grief, I did the apology, and Al says that's the way you do it. Al said that a rabbi told me one time, no matter who's at fault, just apologize, and you're going to feel better, and I did. Al, I hope we're hearing this in win. Al, hello, and what's happening, and how you doing, and what's going on?
Well, it's good to see you again, Herb. You know, we're down here in the Coney Island boardwalk. We're shooting our very last scene, and a couple of pickup shots here with some of the actors, director Fernando, for a movie called Shoe Shine Chicken. And we're so glad you were able to make it down here to interview some of the actors and some of the people on staff here and crew that are making this great movie come to life. And
yeah, let's meet some of the actors now, and then we'll get a little, and then we'll come back to you again for some background or something like background. Let's start with Anthony Aveni.
How you doing? I'm Anthony Aveni.
And your position with the film.
My position in the film is I'm one of the cameo guys. I'm getting my shoes shined by Shoe Shine Chicken, and he's actually ripping me off and not giving me my change. That's like one of my scenes, and I also provide some old cars, like for example a 1956 Chevy Bel Air Nomad, and I provided some old bicycles and some props for background scenery. And I've been working with Al Burgo for quite a while. I know him for about 3 years, and he's done a lot of other fantastic things. But one particular movie he did was called Legalized Mafia.
Yeah.
And it portrays all the corruption that's going on with the traffic agency and all these illegitimate parking tickets that are issued. But going back to the Shoe Shine Chicken project.
And of all things, I met him at DMV.
Yeah. But getting back to the Shoe Shine Chicken project, you can check it out on YouTube, Shoe Shine Chicken, and he really portrays the 1960s, the early 1960s, 1963 I believe it was, and he really has a nice flashback scene, and it looks really fantastic. He did a great job with the movie.
Al seems like a really good guy. He's an interesting guy. He kind of comes off something like a hitman, but he's really a super religious kind of guy. He carries his prayer.
Well, let me tell you something. He's an amazing comedian, and yes, he actually is a hitman, because in a movie that he recently did, both of us were in the movie together. He was in one type of scene and I was in a different type. But in his scene, he actually gets to kill Stephen Bauer. Stephen Bauer was Al Pacino's right-hand man in the movie Scarface. And in this movie, Stephen Bauer was a really big, degenerate gambler. And eventually he got way in over his head. And Al Burgo was one of the hitmen that got to crack his skull open with a baseball bat at the end of the movie.
But he's interesting in himself personally. He's about as far from there. He sounds like he's very Brooklyn. Brooklyn guy. But he's a very pious. Is that a word I'm looking for? He his prayer shawl to tell us whatever it is in his backpack. Are you sure? He's an interesting guy. Okay, again, your name is?
Yeah, I'm Anthony Aveni.
Let's move along. Anthony, you're nobody? No, you must be so. Okay, here we go. Your name?
Yeah, my name is J. Stanley Rollerson, and I'm the hardware store manager. I got fired, and because I was told to watch the store, don't drink beer, don't read magazine, but I was the hardware store manager, and my name is Stanley Rollerson. I met Al Burgo some time ago through my son. His name is David Bro, and he does documentary. But he's a friend of Al for many years, and he introduced me to Al, and Al gave me a part in this movie called Shoeshine Chicken.
And your part?
My part is that I played the hardware store manager.
But you got fired.
That I got fired because somehow Shoeshine Chicken kept coming in and stealing products that he needed.
Well, Shoeshine Chicken, it sounds like he's a bit of a nefarious character anyway.
Oh, yeah.
He tried to rip off this guy's change from the Shoeshine, and he's always stealing from your shop.
Woman shop.
So basically, you're innocent. You got fired.
Oh yes, I got fired because he was slicker than I was.
Watch out for Shoeshine chickens, man.
Well, what I did was in my scene, I actually had 2 quarters. I had 1 quarter in one hand and 1 quarter in the other. So when I gave him the quarter, the Shoeshine was 15 cents. He was supposed to give me 10 cents back. I go, hey kid, you gotta give me 10 cents change. And he said, I don't have no change. And I said, you don't have no change? What kind of business are you running here? Now you see, if you would have had change and you would have gave me my 10 cents back, I was gonna give you this quarter. So you would have ended up getting a quarter out of me instead of only 10 cents. So who's smarter than who here? So I sent Shoeshine Chicken home with a little lesson there. You know?
Holy cow, so I hope he learned by it.
Yeah.
This is the guy that doesn't want to get on. Maybe you do. What's your name?
This is my friend Johnny Weldon.
Johnny
He was in a couple of other movies. I put him in a movie called Old Secrets, No Lies, which I also casted Al Burgo in that movie also. He did a great job. You could see that on YouTube. Old Secrets, No Lies. And Johnny Weldon played a detective in this one. FBI agent. And he was actually one of the FBI agents that was interrogating me. So in this movie, I was a very, very bad person. I don't want to reveal too much about it. You got to get out to the theaters and check it out. But in the meantime, just view it on YouTube. And I also put Johnny Weldon in another movie called Framed. And it depicts the life of Sonny Francis, a guy who was in jail unjustly for 30 years for a crime he didn't do. Okay, obviously everyone knows he did other crimes that he wasn't charged for. But he's doing this one crime he did not do, and he's in jail. And Johnny also plays a detective in that one. Seems like in the past couple of movies, Johnny's been being like a police officer, FBI agent, a detective. But he's pretty good. Let me let him say a couple of words now.
Before we move on to John one more time, I have a John Francisi story. He owned a theatrical agency, a music agency at one point, and I was booking Tom Jones, the singer, when he first came to America, and Sonny Francisi's agency had some sort of a connect to Tom Jones, so I set it up. And after we got finished speaking, we went downstairs and we were standing on Broadway near the Ed Sullivan Theater, not too far from there, and we're standing over there, and he kept on with the finger, you know, like a, hey, how you doing? Hey, he was doing this the whole time with the finger, like he was holding a weapon. And then he says, Herbie says, do me a favor, don't look across the street, but kind of don't look. But there are a couple of guys taking pictures of us across the street. You know, still shots. He says those are detectives, those FBI guys. Just don't look up and make like you don't see it. So I was actually being photographed with John Sonny Francisi. And then, I know he was rousted a bit, and then his wife one day with the child in the carriage, they rustled, they knocked the carriage around looking for such. He was pretty well harassed, but I think he's gone now, isn't he? Has he passed away?
Sonny Francis? No, I think he's actually still alive.
Still in jail?
No, he's out. But he's like, his health is not too good. They're trying to put him back in. He's about 80 years old or so.
Oh, let the guy alone. What are you going to do? Okay, let's just get to you for a moment. Okay, let's go back, and I'm sorry I
Yeah, let's go back one thing. Getting back to what you said about you had a meeting with Tom Jones and this and that. That's very interesting because on the way here I was telling Johnny. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
By the way, I put up ads that he was going to be there in Long Beach, but the deal was never set, and I never got the guy.
Wow. Yeah, because we were talking on the ride out here. I went last night. I'm a musician. I'm a lead singer in about 4 different bands. And when I'm not performing with the band, I like to go and practice at karaoke places. So last night, this young lady that I was with, she's one of my co-stars in a movie called The Nature of Honor. Okay, it's actually going to be a TV series or HBO or something. Her name is Charlene. She took me to this place, and she decided that she was going to pick all the songs that I was going to sing. So between her and her girlfriend, who was the karaoke lady, Amethyst, wonderful singer as well, they picked some songs, and one of the songs they picked for me was Delilah by Tom Jones.
Okay.
And on the ride over here, Johnny and I was singing, and we were singing that song, My Delilah.
How about Cara Mia Mine?
Oh, Cara Mia, that's Jay Black and the Americans.
Okay, John. Now to you. Let's give us a little background on what you're doing here.
I came down with Anthony for the ride today. He said he might need some people in the background, but I also know Al. And what was that premiere we went to, Anthony? Al's?
Old Secrets No Lies?
No, well, Al's premiere a couple of weeks back.
Legalized Mafia.
Legalized Mafia. So I've seen a bit of that. I knew Al was involved, so I said I'd come down.
Yeah, so here you are, and you're going to be acting. And where'd Al go? I'm looking for Al Burgo. There he is, over there. He's with, I guess, the director.
Fernando, yeah. Fernando also did Old Secrets No Lies with me and Anthony. Or Anthony and I, should I say. He knows what he's doing.
Close.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I was saying, I was up at DMV, I got there early, and gee, it's so understaffed at DMV on 11 Greenwich Street.
Anthony's in there all the time.
Oh my God! And then I'm an SS guy, Social Security SSI, and then where's your letter? I was looking to get the ID without the charge and all that.
Anthony, tell him how to get in and out of DMV real quick.
And I'm trying to explain what was going on, and Al just was standing by listening. What's your nightmare on Greenwich Street? You have a number of them there.
Nightmare is a secret. We figured this out a long time ago.
You either get there really early or really late.
No. We go anytime. You gotta go in, fake cast, a set of crutches.
And a set of crutches.
You get to the top of that line, hail, rain, or shine. We do it all the time because he gets so many tickets. And the lady in DMV said to him a couple of weeks ago, God, you have that cast on a long time. He says, and he was real quick. He says, I re-broke it again.
Yeah.
You see, Brooklyn guys, well, I'm a Brooklyn guy, so I'll say cast and crutches.
Cast and crutches,
Crutches works every
You
time.
get in front of any line like this.
And when's the last time you wore the cast?
When? Oh, but legitimately, I did break my foot about 7-8 months ago.
Yeah, that's
and I was in a cast for about 3 months.
Did you have to go to DMV?
I actually had to go to DMV, and that's how I learned about the little thing, because I was scheduled to renew some paperwork and registration. And I walked in with my crutches, and this was legitimate, and they brought me right to the front of the line. I didn't have to wait or anything. So from that point on, I realized, hey, every time I come to motor vehicles, I might as well put this little crutch and put the cast on.
And 2 days ago, you did it again?
Yeah.
And 2 days ago, let's
I was in and out of there in less than 1 hour.
For historical purposes, today's date is August the 5th, 2011. I was hanging out where I'm living now for the next couple of months in Bay Ridge, on Bay Ridge Parkway. I get a call from Al Burgo. We're shooting some shoeshine chicken today. Can you make it? Realizing that I'm not all that far from Coney Island, I called him back, and here we are. So I got to know. And where's your cast? Is that the cast from the old?
From the old break, yeah, when I broke
And
it
you
like
just
8
slip
months
it
ago.
on?
Yeah.
Is it signed? I mean, people signed it on?
Yeah.
The DMV tellers.
Us Brooklyn guys. I'm gonna remember, and I'm just looking around Coney Island. I'm looking at that's not the cycle.
Yeah, I'm
that's
looking
way
at that
too
too.
small. But
Sorry, go ahead.
But the parachute jump. Have you ever been on the parachute jump?
No.
I was on the parachute jump.
I wouldn't want to jump off that parachute now, especially since there's no parachutes.
No parachute over there. Okay, so where did Al go now? Looking for Al. He don't see him. He kind of
back inside.
He went back inside. Okay, let's kind of move over.
Okay.
Are we going into Cha-Cha's? Where's the shoot
I
going to
think so,
happen?
yeah.
Where's the shoot going to
Well, I
happen?
think they're planning on using. I brought him another car because I collect old cars. I rent them out to movie companies and filmmakers, as well as I do acting and I'm a singer. But I brought today a 1962 Chevy Impala convertible, white with the baby blue interior.
I had a Chevy Impala convertible.
Oh, they
goodness
float
gracious.
through the air. Those
Wow,
cars, they're
wow.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So he used my other car. I figured the movie's all based on 1963.
Yeah.
I figured the 1962
62.
would be very appropriate for
Yeah.
the movie.
Okay, we're moving into a place called, when we give them a little...
Cha-Cha's.
We're going into Cha-Cha's, and we're heading in, and Cha-Cha's is a bar and a restaurant, and so here we are in Cha-Cha's. Are you Cha-Cha?
Cha-Cha.
Who are you? Hello. Anyway, I wanted to give Cha-Cha's only because they let me sit here in the shade while I was waiting for you guys before the place opened. Okay, Al, let's go back to. While Al's doing this, you're listening to New York City Visions. We're in Brooklyn for this edition of New York City Visions. I'm your host, Herb Malsman. Today's recording date again is August 5th, 2011. And we're here, there's a shoot they're finishing up for Shoe Shine Chicken. We're back with Al. Al, what's going on now? What's our time frame like? And then we're going to meet you in a moment.
Right now, we're trying to establish a shot in the very famous Cha-Cha's Bar and Grill on the boardwalk. We are reminiscing about chicken because nobody's seen him in years, and we are trying to keep the legend going because at the end of the movie, chicken never leaves us. He taught so many people such good things down there that me personally, I'm very proud of him. That's why I decided to upgrade the story instead of talking about it, to put it in fruition, if that's the proper word, so it could be shot in a movie.
Is there really a chicken?
There was a guy named Chicken, yeah.
There was a guy named Shoe Shine Chicken.
Yes. I call him Shoe Shine Chicken, but his real name was Harry Pack. Excuse me, that was his brother. His real name was Martin Pack. We called him Chicken because he ate a lot of chicken, and he was not chicken of anything. He was just the opposite. He was fearless. He was one of the toughest guys on Coney Island, and I hung out with him. Me, him, and another good guy named Frankie Maroney. Frankie's name was Zoom. He had a nickname Zoom because he was so fast. So between Chicken being tough and Frankie being so fast with his hands, I was with these guys, and I was a young kid, 10, 11 years old, hanging with them. They let me be part of their entourage because I had big balls as big as a doorway, even though I didn't have the experience like them because they were a couple years older than me, but they still took me under their wing. And all our families knew each other, and we all looked out for each other, and it was just a great way of growing up here on Coney Island.
What time is it right now?
Right now I got 12:25.
And when did we meet? How long ago?
We met about a month ago.
No, I'm talking about today.
Oh,
About
just now?
5 after?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
The reason why I'm asking, I have to be watching my time now, and I never set my clock.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So I'm going to put us at about the 20 minutes right now since we started.
So this is a movie called Shoe Shine Chicken. When they would call chicken, they would say, "Shine, chicken, yo, shine, shoe shine."
Right.
Pick their hand up,
And that's the way it was.
And I couldn't make the money because they knew Chicken. Chicken brought me on the boat to shine shoes with him to teach me the ropes because my father said, "I didn't give me no more money. Go make a box with chicken and go to work."
Right.
So you see us going in the store, grabbing the stuff without paying for it because we were poor, and we made our own box and we did what we had to do to get the thing going.
Could you tell me when it becomes 1 o'clock?
Sure.
Okay, you're going to be my time.
All right, here, hold my watch.
No, yeah, okay, there you go. Oh, yeah, I'm getting it.
It's a very expensive watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I forgot to...
Hey, you want to wear it? Put it on.
I forgot to set it. He's giving me his watch. What a guy Al is.
Hey, you're a guy too.
Okay, there we go.
So in continuation of what I'm saying, we are about to do...
I'm kind of surprised we made it today. You called me about 10:15.
You're a trooper, Herb. You came right down.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to get you on...
Yeah, we appreciate that.
But I did learn from one of the guys now. Who's the guy with the 62 Chevy?
Oh, that's Anthony Avena. He's one of the actors in here.
I learned how we can beat the line at DMV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wears a cast when he goes in. he actually broke a foot.
Oh, and he says his leg hurts.
He broke a foot, and then he had a cast on about 7 or 8 months ago.
Right.
And he realized that when he got to DMV, he could float right through. So he was there a couple of days ago to pay a ticket or whatever he was doing.
Yeah, he said he was
and he
going.
wears the cast.
That's what you got to do. You know, everybody's got a story, so you just got to do what you got to do to get through. You know.
Let's talk about your background a little bit, and then I want to meet with the director. Director, is that the gentleman?
Yeah. But he's being a little focused right now on getting a shot together. But we'll get you in there.
So there's a shot that's going to happen here in Chacho?
Hopefully, we're trying to establish that right now.
Oh, good. So I can give a little PR.
Yeah. But let's, you know.
Okay, so give us.
Fly low until we get the spot.
Right. Okay, so do you want to take a break now? And
yeah, take a break. You want to give a soda? What are you drinking?
I'm gonna let me just say, folks. Right now we're gonna take a break. Now there's a strong likelihood at this point, by the time you hear this, this will also be airing on a radio station here in the New York area, WVNJ. I believe I'm going to be airing Sundays 7 to 8 a.m. So this program would be on WVNJ. So what I'm going to do right now, folks, at audiobookradio.net, thank you, John Mayfield, what a guy in the UK. We're going to take a short commercial break right now, and then we'll be back. But folks, don't go anywhere at ABR. We're not taking the break. For you guys at VNJ, if there's a commercial in here, if I've sold a little time at this point, then there's a commercial. If not, we're right back anyway. So let's take this break. Again, you're listening to New York City Visions. I'm your host, Herb Mosman. Let's take that break. We're back. See, and the music is still the same. Right. Okay, we're gonna take a break.
You want me to say something else right now? You want me to say something else?
Go ahead.
I want to say also that Chicken never gave change out. When he showed me how to make the box, as soon as he got up in the book, I said, Chicken, first customer, we started working. I said, how much you going to charge you? What's the price? He goes out. You don't worry about nothing, don't jinx nothing. Just work that side. I got this side. He gives me the shit side. He takes the good side. He gives me the side with all the drunks and people falling off the side of the bowl. Well, this was this side. He gets that side by the beach where people sitting relaxing. They got a bench. And next thing you know, he's making all the money. And I'm not making nothing. People not taking a chance on me. I was just a little young kid with a brand new white clean rig. He had the dirty rig. He had a little strap. It was more equipped. We've been doing this shit for a couple of years. So they got to know Chicken. And they said, Chicken, shine. People were actually lining up. The number guys, the fucking regulars, the school principals, anybody was on vacation. A lot of people knew him. And if they didn't know him, they knew they liked his bop. They liked his look. They knew he was the real shine man. Right. And Chicken used to take care of business up here. Nobody else could really shine in his territory. He would chase guys off the ball, and he told me, Al, it's 15 cents, but you never give change. I said, what do you mean? He goes, nobody gets change. What don't you understand? I said, wait. I said, there's people up here that are the school teachers I know, and the guys, my friend's fathers. I said, I got to, hey, Al, you want to make money? No change. I said, what if the guy gives $1? Keep the dollar. Tell him you ain't got no change. Dig in your pocket, smile, and say, I gave you change to the last customer.
See, folks, this is why when Al called me at 10:15, he said, can you make it out to Coney Island by around noon and meet me at Cha-Cha's? I jumped in that shower.
This is exciting stuff.
There you go. Let's take a break, and then we'll see what's happening at this location. So fun, folks. Let's shut our MP3 recorder right now. Okay, we're back and we're inside Cha-Cha's right now. We're actually there's a stage set up over here, Cha-Cha's Club Atlantis, and we are with the director of the film. Director of the film, Shoe Shine Chicken, and why don't you hold the, okay, and we're going to meet with the director, and we're stepping out again, I don't want to get too much into the wind here. We're coming out through the bar area, and we're going to meet with the director in a moment. I don't want to get too far into the wind. I don't want him to come, Al, can you bring him back? Okay, let me, it's a little hard to do because we're kind of moving around. Don't go too far now. Come on back. Yeah, but then we're in the wind. Okay, here we go. Your name is?
My name is Fernando Cuestas.
And you're the director?
I'm the director of Shoe Shine Chicken, yes.
And how did you come to this place today? And at what point are you in the film? And a little bit of your background. Any of that in any order?
I'm a New York-based filmmaker. Been making films for the past 12 years or so, just commercial and artistic stuff. And I heard the story from my friend Al and Eloise, who brought me into the project. Both of them explained to me how much the story meant to them, and it's based on a real life, told from the heart story about kids trying to make it out on boardwalk in Coney Island in 1963. So I liked the story. I felt there was something I could bring to it and make something special out of, and that's how I got involved.
And how long has this been shooting now? Because I saw a couple of quick things on YouTube. Again, Shoe Shine Chicken at YouTube. It sounded great. Some great music happening there. How long has this been in production now?
Well, we started shooting probably last September, all the way through now. But they've been off and on like months where, because this is a very independent project, there's very little money involved. We're kind of like putting in our own time. So it's whenever we've been able to kind of like pick it up and keep it going and giving it its due time to make it, a special project, because that's how we feel about it.
How do you go about finding the money for this sort of thing?
Well,
Brooklyn is, even though it's a large area, it's really tight knit. So how do you bring it all together?
Well, right now it's been the three of us, Eloise, myself, and Al, who've been putting our time and money. So when I say money, it's kind of like our time, because I mean we do work for a living. We make I do commercial projects, but I don't take my time to edit, to shoot this. It's time that I would normally charge other people, but I'm not charging anywhere because it's my project, and I want to make it something special and something that we could all kind of like use and benefit and actually have something connected to us that we all believe in. And so that's what I mean when I say time and money. It's kind of like we're all putting our time and money, and if this was a real project, the budget would probably be a lot more than what it actually is. But I mean, we're buying food for people. We're trying to treat people as well as they can when they come down and help out, and that's kind of like where a lot of money is. Sometimes travel, sometimes buying props. I mean, I brought some stuff. Al's brought some stuff. Eloise brought some of her own stuff, and we've all just been kind of like banding together to make this happen.
What are you trying to accomplish today with Cha Cha? I know you're going to be speaking with the boss in a little while. What are you hoping to get done here today and set the shot that you're hoping to do here?
It's a very simple scene. It's a very short scene, but it's an important scene where Al is remembering the past in the present, because a lot of the majority of the film takes place in the past in 1963, but we also cut forward to present day where Al now is is an older man, or at the age that he is now, and he's kind of like beginning to remember again his friends and the people that he knew back in 1963, and then we cut back from 1963 to the present where we can see that Al is still affected by all the things that happened to him when he was a child.
And when do you think, you have any finish date, any day that when do you think you'll be wrapping?
Well, I mean, the edit is just about done. We're doing some pickup shots just to finish up the movie to make it tighter. And this is one of the more solid scenes that we have to just finish up and put in there. So I'm hoping after this is done and I can throw it into the movie, we could pretty much be done with this by September, I'd say, or later on this month, and say that we have something that we could start sending out and showing people and getting people excited about it.
Okay, again, because you're talking about September, we're recording today on August 5th, 2011. This program will probably not air on audiobookradio.net until sometime in late September.
Okay.
And then if it goes on to local New York metropolitan area radio here, it would be sometime in October. So right now, let's just kind of putting it all in place in order somehow. So right now, as we're speaking, you're not set to finish up. You're getting close to wrapping, but by the time this airs, you may be wrapped.
We'll pretty much be done. We'll have a finished film that people will be hopefully watching or beginning to watch at a film festival somewhere in the city and somewhere outside the city too.
Okay,
That's many film festivals.
We're going to send out to anybody who's willing to look at it and give it a shot. And we really wanted to kind of like have a wide appeal, not just in New York, being how it's about Coney Island and New York City, but I mean, Coney Island is kind of like very related to the rest of the world. A lot of people come here from all over the world to enjoy it and to experience it. So I think it would have more of a wide appeal, not just to people in New York, but just around the country and to other parts of the world.
Well, I'm sorry to say I'm a bit of a Brooklyn chauvinist, and I really do feel that people around the world really get into Brooklyn, New York. There are a lot of Brooklyns in the country. I think there's one in North Carolina and there's one in Mississippi, California. But this is the Brooklyn, and I kind of feel people want to say, let's stick
exactly. But I've always felt that Brooklyn has like an effect on the entire world and a lot of people from all over the world. I mean, we had that Japanese kid who was winning all those hot dog contests for years.
And Joey Chestnut.
No, but I mean, that kid was just doing it for like years straight, and he was giving a name to Japan. But I mean, people from Japan would be interested in coming over here just based on that kid, and just other parts of Asia too. So it's not like it's just about Brooklyn and Coney Island. It's about Coney Island and Japan, Asia, anybody who's interested.
And the Japanese gentleman, Kobayashi, I think.
Kobayashi, that's right.
He was banned because he got a little crazy. Joey Chestnut.
I don't know. I don't think they should ban him. I think
But he was on. There was a contract. He had a contract with Nathan's, and now he actually did it with witnesses on a rooftop in Brooklyn, someplace on July 4th, and he actually beat Chestnut.
That's pretty cool. That's great. I wish it was just official. I wish they would just let him compete, and if he's going to lose, let him lose fair and square. If he's going to win, let him win fair and square.
Right.
And they shouldn't exclude him from the competition. I really feel he should be in there.
Okay, is there a website or anything? Let's go to Al.
ShoeShineChicken.com.
Okay, ShoeShineChicken.com.
Yeah.
And
we're going to update it. We have just a trail up there and just very minimal stuff at the moment, but we're going to try to just throw some stuff up there once we start going into the festivals and things like that.
Right.
You know?
Al, you must feel pretty good about this thing. You grew up with this, coming up as a child, and knowing these folks, and you actually worked with Shoeshine Chicken,
Yeah.
and here you are. This must be really a third one for you.
Yeah, this is something really special for me because this is the first thing I can say that I put it together, man. I was the originator. I'm the creator. I'm the fucking writer. I'm holding the whole together. I got a good team working with me here, and I'm very proud to say that. And we got a good staff. We got good actors. We got people that never acted before in their life in this movie, and they did a superb job. People were saying, "Where'd you get these people?" They think they came in from Hollywood. A couple of them came from agents. Some of them were just friends of friends, family members, and we put a nice package together of some fantastic acting and some writing. Me and Fernando wrote it together, and basically I wrote it, and then he put it in format for shooting purposes. So of course he's got to get writing credit too, and he's got a lot to do with this movie by making it happen. And so do I, and so does everybody else. Everybody else is doing what they could do. Louise is a big part of this. There, she's been producing it and acting in it,
And it's all your
and these are
dream.
dedicated people, and it's my dream that's coming true.
Right.
I told them the story, they liked it. I told the story to a few other people just to tell them, not looking to shoot it. And the more I told, the more people liked it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to shoot that baby. I'm going to put that thing into action and see what happens. And I looked around, I searched around, and
You got the guy.
Fernando and Eloise Ayala showed strong interest in it. I said, well, let's get strong with it. Let's get going.
Okay, so I'm gonna shut the machine now, and you're going in to speak to somebody there, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll come on back and finish up. Okay, again, you're listening to New York City Patients, but we're not in New York City proper. We're in the city of Brooklyn. The real Brooklyn. Maybe I guess either the third or the fourth largest city in America. I think that's still the sign that shows up there.
Yeah, pretty much.
The third or fourth side, and Brooklyn used to be its own city, and then by 200 votes, it got pulled kicking and screaming in becoming a borough of New York City. You were gonna say?
Yeah, I want to say also this was originally called the Brooklyn, the borough of churches. There was like 4 or 5 churches on every block, and you know what? There was bars to match the amount of churches. So you figure that out.
Yeah.
The churches don't drink. If people drink, go to church. They go to church, they come out and they go to drink. So this is a drinking America, man. This goes way back before Prohibition. People were making moonshine in the hills.
This is it.
And,
Okay.
I'm still waiting.
Okay. We're gonna shut down for a moment.
So you were very kind enough to come out here, and we're glad to have you on board. Food is on me. You want a steak? You want a lobster?
All right,
Just tell me what you want. You got it, Herb.
You
You're the
got
man.
it.
You're
I'm gonna-
coming out here and baking in the sun for us, and we appreciate you.
I'm gonna take a lobster break. Here we go. Let's take a break. We're back for just a moment. We're still waiting for. No, I can't shut it down. We're back now, and we're waiting to get word whether these guys can go into cha-chas. I hope you're hearing this, folks, with all the wind. And with me again, your name is?
My name is Stanley Rollerson, Stanley J. Rollerson, and I wrote a novel, From the Street, Coming Together.
But in the film, you're actually the hardware.
Oh, in the film of Shoeshine Chicken, I am actually the hardware store manager. That Shoeshine Chicken came to rob daily for shoe polish.
But you've got a backstory here. You're a Brooklyn native, right?
Oh yes, yes.
And you were part of a gang.
Oh yes, I grew up on Warren Street back in the early 50s, and that was between 3rd and 4th Avenue and Warren Street. And I'm a student. I went to John Jay High School, graduated, and I went to City College for a couple of years. But anyway,
I went to George Westinghouse vacation.
yes. So that's where I grew
So
up.
you're a gang guy.
Well, I was a kid, and kids did things that they weren't supposed to do, but I was there.
Did you beat up anybody notable?
Oh yeah. Lots of guys got beat up by us.
And the name of the gang again is?
Soviet.
The what?
Soviet.
Are they still around?
The Soviet is band. Many years ago.
This man. You know, I got beat up by the Noble Laws on Ocean Parkway one day. I was sitting there minding my own business with a friend, and I was not actually sitting on the bench. I was sitting on the back of the bench, the backrest, and 3 guys came over, and one stepped up to me, and I'm holding on to the bench, and this guy's roundhousing me 4 or 5 times, and then I didn't go down, I didn't pass out, I didn't go down, but then afterwards, one of the guys he was with calls him over, and he whispers something in his ear, and the guy comes over and apologizes. They had the wrong guy.
Yeah.
And then he gave me his card. The Noble Lords had a card, and the card had a crown on it, and that was the Noble Lords business card. And I think the Lords of Flatbush may have been the Noble Lords. And what about gangs in Brooklyn? What about Brooklyn gangs?
Brooklyn gangs, I remember the Chaplain, the Stompers, the Bishop, Cobans, the Renegade Bishop, which was part of Coney Island. And there was a gang that extended all the way to Manhattan. Those gangs we wasn't allowed to even talk about when we were teenagers back in the 40s and the 50s, because you would fear that you would be contacted for the same thing about them.
I knew a guy that was part of the Golden Guineas.
I do too.
You know a guy from the Golden
Oh, I went to school with the guys from the Golden Guineas. They was our brother club.
And he became a hairdresser in Berkeley, South Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Brooklyn Louis. Hi, Brooklyn Louis.
You don't remember his name? I hope not.
I know his first name is Louis. I don't know what's his.
Maybe.
He wouldn't have his last name on.
Right. But the name that I knew, I can't mention it because in those days we're not supposed to review the guy's real name. But I do remember going to school with the Golden Guineas, and we were their brother club. We grew up in the same neighborhood.
Wow. And basically, these gangs were formed to protect their neighborhood.
Right. Exactly. That's what they did.
You guys didn't actually go out looking for trouble.
No.
You guys just, if there was trouble, you protected the neighborhood.
Exactly. The women, the children in the neighborhood. That's what we did.
So there's a connotation that the gangs, you guys didn't go roving the streets with bats. I mean, you had a purpose. You were protecting that.
Right. We only went after another person only if they violated a person in our neighborhood, our turf, and the turf we protected. We protected with our own souls, with everything.
You ever hear the Fort and Baldies?
No.
They're in the Bronx.
Yes, I know.
Okay, and your name again is?
My name is Stanley Rollison.
Stanley Rollison. Okay. You got a middle initial?
My name is Stanley J. Rollison. I am the author of From the Street Coming Together. And
You're also talking about some of your books. You have a book you've written out.
Oh yeah, I have 3 novels that I have published. The first novel is called From the Street. It's based on what I
So it's Angel. Say it again. Spell that out.
It's www.rollerson.angelfire.com. ROLLERSON.angelfire.com.
Okay, it's Rollerson, ROLLERSON at angelfire, ANGEL fire, one word.com, and the names of the books again, titles.
From the Street, Coming Together and Ignorance, and they are online, and you can purchase it from Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or ebook, on the website angelfire.com.
Wow, okay, so okay, you're a gang guy that became an author.
Oh yes. I did my homework and I studied. I'm a good guy, and when you're a kid, you do things that you're not supposed to do.
Well, basically, it sounds like you've written from your life.
I wrote what I saw, and I made stories of it.
Right. Okay, again, your name is
Stanley J.
Rollerson. Okay, Stanley. We're gonna shut the machine right now and wait to do a finish, and we're gonna find out if you guys are gonna be shooting inside.
Will do.
Okay, so let's again. You're listening to New York City Visions. We're in Brooklyn, New York, on the boardwalk in Coney Island, Brooklyn. Boy, looking right at the pirate parachute jump. There are no more parachutes up there, but that was quite a ride, and that's what's happening. I haven't been on this boardwalk in an awful long time, so I'm sure I have a book when he said Coney Island. Says, let me do this. Okay, let's shut the recorder, and we'll be back to finish up here. We're back, and what we were walking to Cha-Cha's, and Al Burgo stopped and he introduced me to this lady, and your name again is?
BrooklynBabyDoll.
How'd you come to BrooklynBabyDoll? How'd that happen?
Somebody told me I was a baby doll, so just kind of stuck.
Okay, and now you're sort of like you're pretty much a kind of a public figure here. Folks know you.
Yes.
What are you? I know you said you're a dancer, but you're also running for something here in the area.
I'm a burlesque and go-go dancer, and I will be in the Miss Coney Island pageant on September 16th, 2011, at Sideshows by the Seashore. You have to show up and cheer for me in order for me to win.
And what day is this?
September 16th, Friday.
Okay, I'm going to be here to cheer for you anyway. And where's this going to be happening again?
At the Sideshows by the Seashore, the Freak Bar on Surf Avenue.
Okay, now you said you're a dancer with burlesque. That's your background? That's what you do?
Burlesque and go-go dancer.
And you do this here in Coney Island?
I do this in Coney Island and anywhere they hire me.
And also burlesque shows, pure burlesque?
Right.
Okay, explain a burlesque show for folks that are too young to know burlesque.
It's a little playful striptease, a little tongue-in-cheek, I would say.
And is that your stage name again?
BrooklynBabyDoll, yes.
That's your stage name?
Yes.
Born and raised Brooklyn?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Well, I left Brooklyn for a while, came back.
Have you tried before? Have you been Miss anything else?
No.
Is this your what made you decide you're going to go for Miss Coney Island?
They've been asking me to do it for years, and they finally asked me when I was drunk, so I agreed.
Have you been campaigning?
Yes.
What have you been doing to campaign for this?
I just have to make sure that as many people show up as possible to cheer me on.
Okay. Again, the date is, and now by the time this airs, it's probably over, but I personally will come there to cheer you on.
September 16th, 2011.
Okay. Now, how does the voting happen? It's where does the balloting happen?
Just yell real loud.
Oh, so it's not you're not campaigning. It happens in that one evening.
Right.
What do you think your chances are?
I don't know.
Do you know the competition? Anything?
Yes.
Afraid of anybody? Anybody?
Not at all. They're all fine ladies, fine people. I'm flattered to be in their company.
And this is your first time trying it?
Right.
Well, all I can say is good luck. Okay, again, BrooklynBabyDoll. Okay, you want to give your real name or
Nope.
Your first name?
Nope.
Okay, BrooklynBabyDoll, thank you very much for I hope you're going to get in the movie now.
All right, bye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you're listening to New York City Visions. I'm your host, Herb Malzman, and that was BrooklynBabyDoll. We're going to shut down for a moment and see if we can get inside for the shot, and then we'll shut this down. Let's close for a moment. Here we go. There's a shot happening right now. Al is sitting at the bar, and they're lining up a shot at Cha-Cha's. So I guess that's what's happening. They're being allowed to shoot in there. I can't get too close. One, I don't want to be interfering, and two, it's kind of noisy in there. I'm standing about 25 feet from the entrance, so you can see it's fairly noisy in there. And they're lining up the shot, and Al just kind of, I guess they're not shooting now, he's playing a little air guitar. Let's shut down. Folks, I have no idea what the time is over here. Where we're standing right now, I'm just kind of doing a little Kentucky windage right now, whatever that's called, and whatever that is. I'm just kind of playing it by ear a little bit and see how close I can come to my mark. So let's shut down for a moment. There's a gentleman just showed up. We'll see who this guy is. Maybe we'll get on that. Maybe we'll get him on. Shut down. There we go. Let's shut. Back on for a moment. They are going to shoot. It's going to be right at the end of the bar here, right off the entrance to the place. It's an open. It's not a small opening. It's the whole gate is up. So when you're looking, there are seats out here on the boardwalk, tables and chairs, and then you're looking right into the bar. So it's a wide opening right there. It's kind of a little doorway kind of thing. So that's why we're getting all the sound out here. They're discussing the shot right now, and then we're going to shut down again. And then when we come back, we're going to close down production on this. Let's shut it here. They're about to shoot right now, and I think what they did is the bar tender and the folks here, I think they may have shut down the music so that the shot could be taken. Is that what's happening? Did they shut down the music for you for a moment? Okay, so that's what's happening over here. The music has been shut down, and so they can shoot the scene. So it's gotten quiet over here, and that's what's going on. So a friend of the production company just showed up. Okay, so let's shut this again. Let's shut the old MP3 player and wait for the shot to be taken, and then we'll finish up. Let's take that break. Okay, the clapboard lady is here, and they're getting ready. Al is standing right here, right about 5 feet from the entrance on the boardwalk next to the tables, and she's giving, you hear the clap right there, and the camera's running. Al's walking in. He's going to sit down at the bar, takes a seat, he says hello to the bartender. He sits down, and he's kind of rubbing his barrel a little bit, looking around and waiting his drinks. He's going into his pocket for some money. He's going to get some money, puts his money out, and he's got a little roll there, or a bank roll with a rubber band around it. And he's talking to somebody, but talking to nobody. He's saying chicken, and that's what's happening right here. And he's talking. I guess somebody's supposed to be sitting at the bar with him somewhere, sitting out of camera shot, and he's chatting with him, talking with him, and still waiting on his drink. And actually, the director may be running lines with him, maybe feeding lines with him, and that's what's happening right now in this shot. Let's shut. Oh, by the way, Shoeshine Chicken. Chicken is spelled C-H-I-K-E-N. I don't know if that's for an effect or is a mistake, a typo, but Shoeshine Chicken, C-H-I-K-E-N is the way it's spelled. Oh yeah, that's what I noticed too. Cha-Cha's Bar and Cafe, live entertainment for the whole family. Live entertainment for the whole family. Whole is spelled H-O-L-E. Only on Coney Island you get away with Let's shut out MP3. We have, I kind of recognize you from YouTube. I says, this guy looks kind of familiar. This is not the original Shoeshine Chicken, the actual one, because he's up there a little bit, but you're the guy that's playing him. What's your name?
John Reese. John Reese.
John Reese, can you speak up just a little bit?
Yes, John Reese.
Okay, is this your first acting? Have you done this before?
No, I've done several films out there since I've been in New York City.
Where are you from?
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee. Huh? What other films have you done? Did you come here to act or just...
Well, I came here to go to culinary school because I'm a chef by nature, but I got the acting bug over a couple of monologue competitions I went to. They told me I was pretty great, so I did that, and then I've been featured in Notorious B.I.G. I've been also in Precious, the Oscar-nominated movie, and I also do a lot of commercials and, feature work.
Are you still doing culinary? Are you still into the culinary thing?
I cook for a hobby. I do a lot of barbecuing at my house.
What's your specialty? Chicken?
Of course, throw some chicken on the grill, some pork chops, steak, lobsters, anything.
Folks, if you're online, and aren't we all? Since I'm online, then everybody's online. Go into YouTube, Shoeshine Chicken, and your name again is?
It's John Reese. You can also find me at actorjohnreese.com.
How do you spell your last name?
R-E-E-S-E.
John Reese. Okay, but look at the film. There's a little 3 or 4 minute piece on YouTube, and you're great. You do a great job with it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we've got Shoeshine Chicken on with us. What do you know about Shoeshine Chicken? Did they fill you in on him?
Well, yeah. Shoeshine Chicken is his name.
What did they tell you about him?
That he was a bad boy. He was a loner. He went out and he did on his own. He dropped out of high school at an early age to just be a hustler on the streets, and his whole life he was just shining shoes and eating chicken. I guess that's how he got the name, because he loved chicken
and beating people out in 10 cents.
I mean, just don't double cross him, because he was already a hustler and he was by himself on the street, so he had to know how to take care of himself.
That's the way it is.
That's life, especially back in the 60s, as a young black kid, and Coney Island is not the place, for kids, so he had to grow up really quick.
I know the neighborhood. I know the era. Thank you very much, John Reese.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. That was the gentleman playing Shoeshine Chicken. We're going to shut down our recorder right now, and then we're going to just say a quick goodbye, because I think we're on about 50 minutes, maybe 52 minutes right now. We've recorded about 52 minutes now, so we may be pretty close. Let's shut down and wait to do an end piece with Al Burgo. Here we go. We're just listening. Al is saying to the camera, "Hey, we're doing chicken," and the director is actually talking to the director. And the director is answering him, "Yeah, I remember that guy. Hasn't been around in a while." So the dialogue that's being spoken right now, Al is speaking. The director is the person that he's speaking with. So that's where he's directing his comments. Actually, the director is sort of interviewing him. It's sort of like an interview sort of thing, and Al Burgo is remembering Shoeshine Chicken. So that's what's going on. The director is questioning him, and they're kind of conversing, and there's a conversation going on. There's no script, by the way. They've got it down. Of course, they can't be reading a script, but they both got it down, and it's kind of, it almost seems like off the cuff kind of stuff, just in a passing sort of conversation. Shut the recorder for a moment. Here we go. We're on for just one moment. I don't know what our time is, but again, we're in the shoot. Let's shut for a moment. Just for a moment, they just asked me if I wanted to be in the scene. They need support for a scene. I'm wearing an American Red Cross t-shirt, a blood donor, and they're going to change my shirt. And they're asking me if I want to be on the scene, and I guess I'll be in the scene. I was telling them that my mother told me I had a perfect face for radio, but we'll see what happens anyway. I'm going to shut down and let's see what's happening. Maybe I'm going to be in a movie. Let's shut down. Okay, I'm getting an idea. I'm getting an idea of what this story's going to be, what it is. I'm sitting in the bar with Al, and we're talking about Shoeshine Chicken. Have you seen him in a while? No, the guy hasn't come up in a while. Haven't seen him. Yeah, he's pretty good with kids and all that. So that's basically what the conversation is going to be. It's kind of like just like an ad lib sort of thing. We're gonna shut down over here. I guess we'll shut down our program here. Really quick, and thank you very much.
Right. We're gonna put you in the scene possibly, so we're gonna try to take with you.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna try to take and see what happens. So it looks like. And again, your name is Fernando, the director. I'm gonna shut down right here. I'm gonna say a quick goodbye to Al, and then we'll shut down here because they're looking for a shirt for me. Do you want me to turn the shirt inside out, maybe? Or they're looking for just a regular shirt for me. Why do I need another shirt?
Because it's just a little bit more like a regular shirt that we're going to put you in.
Okay, there you go. Okay, we're going to shut down now. Thank you very much, Fernando, for allowing me to come on the set and give me an opportunity to be in my first movie.
I think it'll be fun.
Okay, we won't get Al now, but again, thank you to Al. Al, really quick, I'm just going to shut down. Al, thank you very much.
No problem, Herb. Glad to have you. Welcome aboard, brother.
Okay, you've been listening to New York City Visions. I'm your host, Herb Malzman. I'm about to put on a jacket to cover the shirt, and I'm gonna be in the shoot. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.